Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack the anatomy of a classic jungle fable to uncover some surprisingly profound truths about identity. We're going to look really closely at a young creature trying his hardest to fight his own nature alongside a tricky monkey who somehow just defies all consequences. It's a fantastic narrative centered entirely around baby Bushcat's big life lesson, so let's just jump right in.
Have you ever wanted to be something you're completely not? I mean, we've all been there, right? It's the exact dilemma facing our protagonist. So let's use this question to kind of frame our entire analysis today. It's a remarkably common feeling. You look at someone else's circumstances and think, man, they have it so much easier than I do. In the jungle of our source material, this envy is the driving force behind the whole story. It brilliantly captures that super relatable human desire to escape our own boring routines and step into a life that looks, well, infinitely more fun and carefree from the outside.
Section 1. Baby Bushcat's Big Wish. Okay, let's dive into this by examining the environment that actually creates baby Bushcat's deep dissatisfaction with his own life. There is just a stark contrast between the repetitive, super sheltered life of the bushcat and the chaotic, seemingly easy freedom that the monkeys get to enjoy. According to the source, Mother Bushcat is constantly managing her baby. She literally picks him up 15 times a day just to put him back in their den. It's a life of strict boundaries and safety. But right across the way, baby Bushcat is watching the monkey. And what is the monkey doing? He's drinking sweet flower nectar, eating fresh fruit, swinging through the trees, shrieking and playing noisy tricks. To a sheltered young bushcat, the monkey's life doesn't just look fun, it looks like absolute paradise. So Mother Bushcat tries to ground her baby with a harsh, foundational rule of their world. When baby Bushcat asks if he can be a monkey when he grows up, his mom laughs, but she delivers a very firm reality check. She tells him that he was born a bushcat, and he will always be a bushcat. The source refers to this explicitly as the law of the jungle. It's an unbending rule of nature. You can't just change your fundamental species just because someone else looks like they're having a better time. Well, completely ignoring the wisdom of his parents, the enthusiastic baby wails that it's just not fair. He totally protests the rules. He honestly thinks that if he just asks nicely enough, the monkeys will let him into their exclusive, fun-filled club. As soon as he is old enough to prowl out on his own, with strict instructions to return before dark, of course, he heads straight for the banana trees to find out if he can defy this law of the jungle. Section 2. The monkey's escalating demands. This brings us right to the moment our innocent protagonist meets the cynical trickster. The monkey is just sitting there with his back to a banana tree, peeling his food, totally relaxed, when this eager little bushcat walks up and literally begs to join his species. The monkey immediately sees an opportunity for mischief here. He exploits the cat's desperation by putting him through these 3 increasingly ridiculous tasks. First, he tests the cat's willingness to serve by asking for a highly specific back scratch, right in the middle, and hey, don't use sharp claws. When the bushcat actually does this, he begs again, "Can I be a monkey now?" But the monkey stalls. The second demand is pure manual labor. He makes the eager cat spring up into the tree and cut down 6 bananas. The cat delivers, absolutely thrilled to be proving himself. But then comes the third and final step of this cruel initiation. The monkey claims there is a physical problem. He says the bushcat's tail just isn't long enough to be a monkey's tail, and they need to sort it out. The monkey convinces this naive cat that tying his tail to a branch will stretch it out and complete his transformation. Desperate for acceptance, the bushcat agrees. As soon as the knot is tied, leaving the poor cat swinging upside down, the monkey reveals his true colors. He shouts his catchphrase, "Haha, I monkey tricked you," laughs at his own wonderful trick, and totally abandons the terrified, trapped baby cat in the jungle. Section 3. The Big Life Lesson. Now, what's really interesting is how the narrative uses this painful moment to forge the absolute emotional core of our fable. See, the trick wasn't just physical pain. It was the complete shattering of an illusion. That idealized version of the monkey's life, totally destroyed. After biting through the vines to free him, Mother Bushcat doesn't scold him. Actually, scratch that. She doesn't just not scold him, she actively helps him realize the value of his painful experience. When she finds him sobbing in the tree, she doesn't yell. She calmly asks him who tied him up, and then asks one very important question. "And do you still want to become a monkey?" When he firmly says no because monkeys play mean tricks, she delivers this wonderfully understated piece of maternal wisdom. "Well, you've learned a good lesson today." She frames his trauma not as a massive failure, but as an absolutely essential education.
So, baby Bushcat's worldview has completely shifted. He finally accepts his identity. He learns that mimicking others only leads to misery, and that he should genuinely be proud of who he is. He realizes the monkey's life, which seemed so amazingly carefree, is actually rooted in cruelty and manipulation. He lets go of that impossible wish and sets a brand new goal, to grow up to be just like Father Bushcat. And the source tells us he achieves exactly that. He eventually grows up and teaches his own babies to laugh at the monkeys from afar, but never ever try to be one. Section 4. Tricking the Trickster. While baby Bushcat learned his lesson, a fable really isn't complete without exploring the consequences for the antagonist, right? It's the natural question we are all asking after witnessing that mean trick. Does the universe of this fable offer any karma for a creature who spends his entire life annoying others? Let's take a look at the second story in our source material to find out. So the monkey has made powerful enemies out of the absolute proudest beasts in the jungle. But his speed and his habitat make him seemingly untouchable. The bear wants to give him a massive bear punch, but the monkey dodges too fast. The tiger wants to bite his cheeky head off, but the monkey never hangs around long enough. The eagle, the literal king of the birds, has a very specific fantasy of picking him up by the scruff of the neck and dropping him straight into the ocean. But the monkey hides out in thick branches where the eagle can't swoop. These massive, powerful predators are rendered completely helpless by the monkey's agility. They're just stuck grumbling that nobody will ever catch him. Ironically, it takes the absolute smallest animal, a mouse, to point out the ultimate strategy for taking down the jungle's biggest nuisance. The mouse overhears the big beasts complaining and steps up with a profound piece of strategic insight. Brute force won't work against a trickster. You have to outsmart him. To do that, you need a plan that plays directly on the trickster's own ego and desires. The big beasts execute a brilliant psychological trap here. They use the surviving smaller animals to trigger the monkey's FOMO, his fear of missing out on the impossible dream of flying. The eagle basically announces that for one day only, he's going to take animals into the air for free so they can experience flight. Now, of course, no one actually wants to do this, so the bear and tiger bully the smaller animals like the gerbil, the tortoise, and even our old friend the bushcat into queuing up. They survive the flights and report back that it's sick-making, but very thrilling. Watching this from the trees, the monkey's curiosity and his deep desire to experience the impossible completely override his usual caution. Just like baby Bushcat wanted to be a monkey, now the monkey desperately wants to be a bird. The trap springs perfectly. Once the monkey is clinging for dear life to the eagle's legs, soaring way high over the ocean, he very quickly regrets it and asks to go back. But the eagle just mocks him with his own catchphrase, "Tricked you," and performs these dizzying, rapid-fire aerial maneuvers until the monkey's grip completely fails. The big beast's revenge finally seems complete as the eagle drops his cargo, yelling bombs away, and sending the dizzy, airsick monkey plummeting straight toward the ocean waves. But wait, incredibly, instead of a fatal consequence, the narrative offers this absurdly lucky twist of fate. The strangest fish a local fisherman has ever seen manages to hitch a ride back to safety. Just as he is about to drown, a fisherman's net hauls him right aboard. The monkey, ever resourceful, scrambles up the boat's mast to act as a lookout. When the boat reaches the shore, he simply hops off into the branches of a nearby tree, completely escaping the doom the big beasts had so carefully planned for him. Unbelievably, the trickster remains completely unrepentant. He mocks the furious big beasts from the safety of his new tree, proving that some natures simply cannot be changed. Just as the eagle is declaring mission accomplished to the tiger and bear, the monkey calls out from the branches. He thanks them for the flight, casually dismisses the near-death experience in the ocean, and promises to see them soon for another trick. The big beasts are left furious, and the eagle is so embarrassed he retreats to his mountain nest. Section 5. The final takeaway. Let's bring all these threads together to summarize exactly what this explainer has taught us about these jungle fables. Both the bushcat and the monkey pursued impossible wishes, but only the bushcat learned that true contentment comes from accepting the law of the jungle and loving yourself. The monkey survived his huge ordeal, but he learned absolutely nothing. He's going to remain a chaotic trickster forever, constantly hunted by angry predators. Baby Bushcat, on the other hand, endured a painful humiliation but walked away with true wisdom. He realized that the grass isn't always greener, and that pretending to be something you're not leaves you incredibly vulnerable to those who want to exploit you. It's a pretty powerful reminder that discovering who you truly are often involves a few painful lessons about who you definitely aren't.
So, the next time you catch yourself wishing you had someone else's life, ask yourself, are you admiring their true freedom, or are you just blind to the vines tying them upside down?